What is up, guys? This is Vince, and today I'm going to talk about what I wish I knew or thought of before hiking the PCT. First off, I do need to tell you that I had next to no backpack experience when I started. I'd only done 2 overnight trips the summer before, and I decided I wanted to hike the Oregon section of the Pacific Crest Trail, which is right under 500 miles, like 465 or something like that. So I did this by I started heading southbound, whereas most people go northbound. One benefit of heading south is that I passed a lot of other hikers and backpackers, so I was always able to know what was coming up ahead of me. Uh, on the downside, I didn't have a whole lot of other people to hike with. There's about 4 or 5 other hikers that passed me or I hiked with briefly during that period of time. Whereas when you're heading northbound, I think there's a lot more opportunities to hike with other people. So if you're looking to be more social, and hike with other people, I would go that route. 2. Packing too much stuff is a no-no. I went into this with like a camping slash hunting mindset, which is what I was used to. We set up a hunting camp, then we hunt out of that camp. So when I was packing everything, I was like, oh, this is only a pound. I'll probably use this. Let me go ahead and pack it. Well, is what I learned is that a pound on your back after 20 miles feels like a lot more than a pound. After 50 miles, you really start debating about just leaving it behind. And after 200 miles, it starts to feel like a ton. So is what I'd recommend doing is getting rid of everything you're not going to need or use. And a good way to do this is to do at least a 2-night overnight backpacking trip to help figure out what you're using. And better yet, if you could do a week, that would really help you hone in your skills and figure out what you're going to use on this adventure and what you're not going to use, so you can get your pack and your weight down as little as possible, because every pound, every ounce really starts to add up in time. So I would also probably invest some good money in a sleeping bag and a tent, especially if you're doing anything more than a month. It's well worth it to spend, a couple $100 on a sleeping bag and a few $100 on a tent, when you think that, rent would be $800 depending on where you're at, more or less. And the tent is what you're going to be living out of for a month or longer. If you're doing the whole PCT, you're looking at 3 to 5 months depending on how fast you hike it. So don't bring too much stuff with you. 3. Watch out for mosquitoes. I did not think the mosquitoes were going to be what they were. My goodness, there was a few spots that I got into them that I literally debated about quitting the trail just because they were that bad. Never else did I ever think, oh, I'm going to quit. But with the mosquitoes in a few locations, they were just driving me absolutely nuts. I was seeing people running around with their rain gear on in 100-degree weather to stop from getting attacked from mosquitoes. So they are no joke. So by all means, bring some good bug spray that works. Invest in a head net. It'll save you the misery of dealing with that all day long. And then I would also recommend getting like those rash guards, for your arms and for your legs. And I would either do a pre-soak with them or spray them down real good to help keep the mosquitoes off you. Because of all the things that I did not enjoy during the hike, the mosquitoes are really the only thing that stands out, and they were horrible. So do be ready for them, because they will find you. 4. What you're going to bring to eat and which meals require water to cook. Now this is something that I never even thought of, but you're not always going to be around water. You're going to go just through Oregon. I think my longest stretch was 26 miles of no water. So you're not always going to be camping or staying at a lake, a river, a stream, a water source. So you won't always be able to clean your pots and pans or rehydrate your meals. So that's something to really keep in consideration, is just how far the water can be. And then if you're planning on every meal being rehydrated, you might start to run into some water issues. So just something to think about. 5. Download half-mile PCT. This is a lifesaver. I think I've never been good with directions, and I got lost on day 3. And by lost, it means I just took a right turn when I should have went left. I didn't realize that the trail isn't as gratefully marked as you would think it would be. You come up to all these intersections, it's not like it says PCT this way. It might say nothing, and you got to guess. Oh well, there's this trail, or this trail. These aren't on the map. I guess I'm gonna go this way. And while that's what I did with the little map that I had, I ended up going 5 miles out of my way before someone told me that I wasn't on the PCT. Just because most other people I was asking didn't know, which should have been a pretty good sign for me. But luckily, this couple, they pointed me back to where to go, and they told me about Half Mile PCT and this amazing app that literally it takes your GPS location and tells you where you are on the trail, and it tells you all the significant information that's coming up ahead of you or that's behind you, whether that be other trails that are coming up, water resources, places to camp, where you can resupply. And I mean, it literally saved my life. Without this, I don't know if I would have successfully completed all of Oregon. I think I could have easily gotten lost or ended up spending an extra 2 weeks backtracking all the time for always taking the wrong path. So, highly recommend downloading Half Miles PCT. It can be used on airplane mode, which is great because it allows you to save your batteries. So, if you get anything out of this, download Half Miles PCT. 6. You want to invest in some lightweight, quick dry shoes. I lucked out in that I was actually listening to go in my hunting boots, which aren't that lightweight, but they're not super heavy. At the time, I was waiting tables, and one of my regulars knew I was getting ready to leave, and she asked me about my shoes, and I told her what I was bringing, and she said, no, you need to get some better shoes. So she actually gave me some money to get some shoes, which was extremely nice, because I was like, well, I better go get some shoes then. And I ended up getting some Salomon's ankle boots. I wish I would have got some trail runners looking back on it. So invest in some lightweight shoes. It'll make a big difference. I would recommend trail runners after just talking to everybody and seeing what everybody was using, although the shoes I had actually worked really good. I would also bring a pair of waterproof socks for crossing rivers, or more importantly when you're in the snow, just to help keep your feet dry and they don't take up too much room, and you can use them for other stuff. And then also I liked having a light pair of flip-flops with me just for when I was at camp. I could wear those around and let my feet air out, and I didn't always have to have socks or boots on, so that was nice. Alright, to sum it all up, guys, don't take too much stuff with you. Lightweight gear is awesome. Practice first with a weekend or week-long trip to help figure out what you're going to use and need. Watch out for the mosquitoes and be ready for them, because they will find you. And most importantly, download Half Miles PCT. It'll save your life. Anyways, as always, thank you for watching, and if you got any value out of this video, please hit the like button or comment down below. Peace out.